we are going to talk about high-functioning depression. You might be wondering, Jenny, if I am functioning, how can I be depressed? We often picture depression as someone who cannot get out of bed, someone who is visibly weeping or unable to work. And while that is a very real and painful form of depression, there is another kind. It is a quiet, persistent fog that settles over your life. Many psychologists associate high-functioning depression with something called persistent depressive disorder, or dysthymia. This is a prolonged state of depression that can last for years. Those who experience this may not feel the total helplessness associated with major clinical depression, but their condition affects tremendously their quality of life. It acts like a dimmer switch on your soul. It minimizes your interest in everything, including social events with friends and family. A person with high-functioning depression will go to school, excel at work, and socialize when absolutely necessary. But the moment they are done with their responsibilities, the moment the performance is over, they withdraw. They collapse into themselves. If you have ever felt like you are wearing a heavy costume of normalcy all day, only to feel completely empty the moment you walk through your front door, this message is for you. Here are 7 signs you might be dealing with high-functioning depression. The first sign is that you are constantly concerned with time. This is a subtle but pervasive anxiety. Although you are achieving your goals, checking off your to-do lists, and completing all your tasks with efficiency, you feel a nagging sense that you are wasting your time. It is a form of existential dread. You might be moving forward, but it feels like you are running on a treadmill, expending energy, but going nowhere meaningful. Even if you find a new hobby or land a new job that you thought you wanted, it still feels like a fool's errand. You might find yourself looking at the clock, wondering where the hours went, not because you were having fun, but because you feel a pressure to make every second count, to justify your existence. You wonder if all the time you are investing into such activities is worth it. This concern with time is not about time management. It is about meaning. When you are depressed, even when functioning, the color drains out of your achievements. You accomplish things, but you do not feel the reward. So, you worry that you are wasting your life because the emotional payoff of your hard work never seems to arrive. You are constantly waiting for a future moment of joy that keeps moving further away. The second sign is that you constantly criticize yourself. This is the voice of the inner tyrant. Because you feel like you are not achieving much, even when you objectively are, you criticize yourself relentlessly. Your internal monologue is harsh, unforgiving, and cruel. You might win an award at work, and your brain says, "You fooled them this time, but you should have done better." Your expectations for yourself are impossibly high, far higher than the standards you hold for anyone else. You push yourself to the limit, driving yourself into the ground, because you believe that if you just do more, you will finally feel good. But because the issue is internal, external achievements never fill the void. This constant pressure affects your state of mind deeply. It creates a state of chronic stress. You might feel that you are lazy, even when you are working 60 hours a week. You might feel like a failure, even when you are the most successful person in your family. This disconnect between reality and your self-perception is a hallmark of high-functioning depression. You are beating yourself up for not being perfect because you mistakenly believe that perfection is the cure for your pain. The third sign is that you overthink everything. It does not matter if a situation is big or small. You will find yourself overthinking it until you are mentally exhausted. It could be a major life decision, or it could be a simple email from your boss. Your brain takes the input and spins it into a web of worst-case scenarios. You analyze tone, you analyze subtext, and you replay conversations in the shower days after they happened. Eventually, this leads to breaking down. It is a paralysis by analysis. You might find yourself staring at a menu in a restaurant, unable to choose, because your decision-making fatigue is so high. Or you might lie awake at 3 a.m, your mind racing with thoughts of things you said 5 years ago. This overthinking is your brain's way of trying to control an environment that feels emotionally unsafe. You think that if you can just analyze every angle, you can protect yourself from future pain. But all it does is trap you in a cycle of anxiety and mental fatigue, leaving you with no energy for the things that actually bring joy. The fourth sign is that you feel deeply misunderstood. This is perhaps the loneliest part of high-functioning depression. Since most high-functioning depressives can maintain a job, keep a clean house, and manage their responsibilities, the people around them underestimate how much anguish they are actually going through. You might hear phrases like, "But you are so strong," or "I wish I had your life," or "You have nothing to be sad about." These comments, while often well-intentioned, feel like a knife to the heart. They minimize your feelings simply because you do not act like the typical depressed person. You have become so good at wearing the mask that you have convinced everyone else that you are fine. But inside, you are screaming. This creates a wall between you and your loved ones. You feel like an imposter in your own life. You want to reach out and say, "I am hurting," but you fear that no one will believe you because your life looks so perfect on paper. So you stay silent, and the isolation grows. You feel like you are trapped in a glass box. Everyone can see you, but no one can hear you. The fifth sign is that you feel saddened or numb. It is normal to feel sad from time to time. Sadness is a healthy human emotion that helps us process loss. But if you are sad or numb most of the time, even while participating in fun activities, you may be suffering from high-functioning depression. This is often called anhedonia, the inability to feel pleasure. Imagine you are at a birthday party. Everyone around you is laughing. The music is playing. The cake tastes sweet. You know, intellectually, that you should be having a good time. But emotionally, you feel like you are watching the scene through a thick pane of gray glass. You are physically present, but emotionally absent. You are going through the motions of happiness, smiling when others smile, laughing when others laugh, but it does not reach your eyes. It feels like a performance. Or perhaps, instead of sadness, you just feel nothing. A flat, vast emptiness. You are not necessarily crying, you are just existing. This numbness is a defense mechanism. Your brain has decided that feeling the pain is too much, so it shuts down the emotional center, taking the joy away along with the sorrow. The sixth sign is that you have unhealthy coping strategies because you overwork yourself to outrun your feelings, and because you are constantly criticizing yourself. You need a way to shut the noise off. You may lean towards drugs or alcohol to deal with stressful situations. It starts subtly. Maybe it is just one glass of wine to unwind after a hard day. But then it becomes two, then three. Or maybe it is relying on sleeping pills to turn off the overthinking. Many high-functioning depressives turn to self-destructive habits, not because they want to destroy themselves, but because they are desperate to clear their minds. They are looking for an off switch. When you are high-functioning, you might justify this behavior by saying, "I work hard. I deserve this treat." But if you are using substances to numb feelings rather than to enhance an experience, it is a sign of a deeper struggle. You are trying to self-medicate a wound that needs attention, not anesthesia. This creates a dangerous cycle where the coping mechanism actually worsens the depression over time, leading to more shame and more need to escape. The seventh sign is that you have excessive pastimes. Along with any unhealthy coping habits you have, you may also find yourself constantly gaming, scrolling through social media, or binge-watching television series, among other things. Now, leisure is important. We all need to relax. But the key word here is excessive and the intention behind it. Although these activities seem normal, the problem arises when you are actually using them to escape reality. Are you watching a movie because you love the story? Or are you watching 10 episodes in a row because it stops you from thinking about your life? Are you playing video games for fun? Or are you playing them for 8 hours straight to dissociate from your own existence? When you are in these digital worlds, you do not have to be you. You do not have to feel the pressure of time, the sting of self-criticism, or the weight of misunderstanding. It is a sanctuary of distraction. But just like the substances, when the screen turns off, the reality rushes back in, often heavier than before because now you have lost hours of your day, which triggers the first sign, concern with time, all over again. My dear friends, high-functioning depression is incredibly difficult to notice because those who suffer from it are still able to continue with their responsibilities. They are the soldiers of society, marching on despite the wounds. Since they do not act like the typical depressive person, they often believe that they are truly okay. They tell themselves, "I went to work today, so I cannot be depressed. I laughed at a joke, so I must be fine." But in reality, it is not okay to live life feeling numb, sad, and constantly criticizing yourself. You do not have to earn the right to feel pain. Your pain is valid simply because you feel it. You do not need to fall apart completely to deserve support. You do not need to lose your job or your house to warrant kindness and healing. If you recognize yourself in these signs, I want you to know that there is hope. If you do have high-functioning depression, the first step is to acknowledge it. Stop fighting the label. Stop telling yourself you are just tired or lazy. Admit that you are carrying a heavy burden. Once you acknowledge it, try to find the root of it. Is it a past trauma? Is it a current environment that is toxic? Is it a biological imbalance? Only by doing so can you truly live happily. This might mean speaking to a therapist. Therapy is not just for people in crisis. It is for anyone who wants to understand themselves better. It might mean setting boundaries at work. It might mean opening up to one trusted friend and saying, "I know I look fine, but I am struggling." That moment of vulnerability can be the crack in the wall that lets the light in. Recovery from high-functioning depression is about learning to value yourself for who you are, not just what you do. It is about learning that you are worthy of love and rest, even on the days you are not productive. It is about reconnecting with your emotions, even the painful ones, so that you can eventually feel the joyful ones again. I want to ask you a question, and I invite you to answer it honestly in the safety of our comment section. Have you ever experienced these symptoms? Have you ever felt like you were acting out the role of a happy person while feeling empty inside? Or have you been diagnosed with high-functioning depression? If so, what methods have you tried to recover from it? Your story matters. When you share your experience, you give permission for someone else to share theirs. You might read a comment and realize, "Oh my goodness, I am not alone." And that realization is the beginning of healing. We are building a community here where we can take off the masks and just be human together. Feel free to share your stories in the comments below. I read them, and I hold space for every single one of you. If you found value in this message, if it resonated with your spirit, please consider liking this video. It helps us reach more people who might be suffering in silence. Be sure to visit our website and other social media for more content designed to help you understand your beautiful, complex mind. And if you would like to support us further, please check out our new Patreon account. Your support helps us keep creating these videos and spreading awareness. Or you can grab a digital magazine from our shop. They are filled with resources and articles to guide you on your journey. All the links will be in the description below. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And most importantly, thank you for being you. You are enough, just as you are. You do not need to do more to be worthy. Take a deep breath, be gentle with yourself today, and remember to nurture that happy aura. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.